The stage lights blaze down on a crowded Los Angeles press conference. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, sits front and center, flashing his trademark grin, shoulders stretched wide beneath a crisp gray suit. He's there to promote his newest blockbuster, Titan Force. Cameras click like machine gun fire, reporters shouting questions over one another. Dwayne. Someone calls from the front row. You've become the face of modern action movies. Do you think you're tougher than the old school guys? Stallone, Van Damme, Seagal? The Rock laughs. That deep, confident laugh the world knows so well. He flexes an eyebrow. Come on, man. Those guys were legends in their time. But let's be honest, a lot of them were just movie cowboys. Big talk, choreographed fights, no real action. The crowd chuckles. The Rock shrugs, playful but cocky. Another reporter shouts, even Steven Seagal? That's when he smirks. Especially him, he says. I mean, he moves slow in movies. Imagine what he's like in real life. The room erupts in laughter. The Rock grins wider, thinking it's all in good fun. He signs autographs, poses for selfies, jokes with the media, unaware that his words are already exploding across the internet. Within hours, the clip dominates every feed. Headlines flash. The Rock mocks Steven Seagal, calls him just a movie cowboy. Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, everyone's talking. Some fans laugh along. Others warn, he shouldn't have said that. Because Steven Seagal might be older, but to martial arts purists, he's still the real deal. A 7th-degree black belt in Aikido with decades of combat training behind him. Somewhere in his quiet dojo in Arizona, Steven Seagal watches the clip on a tablet. He doesn't blink. He simply folds the device shut, stands up slowly, and walks toward the training mat. His voice, low and calm, breaks the silence. A movie cowboy, huh? Let's remind him what a real fighter feels like. The scene cuts back to The Rock, laughing with his team, completely unaware that his casual jab has just lit the fuse for a showdown the world will never forget. Seagal responds publicly, and The Rock realizes this might be more than just publicity. The next morning, the internet is on fire. Clips of The Rock's movie cowboy comment are everywhere. TikTok edits, memes, sports pages, martial arts forums. Hashtags like "Nar Seagal vs Rock" and "Nar Real vs Real" start trending worldwide. The Rock scrolls through his phone, laughing with his team. Man, people really took that seriously? He says, shaking his head. Come on, it was a joke. His trainer chuckles. Yeah, but you know how fans are. They'll turn anything into a war. Meanwhile, 700 miles away in Arizona, the camera pans into a quiet, sunlit dojo. Steven Seagal, tall, broad, dressed in his traditional black GI, moves slowly across the tatami mats. His motions are smooth, controlled, almost effortless. Students kneel around him, watching in silence as he practices a series of Aikido throws. Each motion flows like water, precise and deliberate. One of his assistants approaches, holding a tablet. Sensei, he says softly, you should see this. Seagal watches the clip of The Rock laughing, calling him just a movie cowboy. For a moment, he says nothing. Then he smiles, not with anger, but with quiet confidence. He walks toward the camera, places his hands behind his back, and begins recording a short video response. Dwayne Johnson, he says calmly, eyes locked on the lens. I've always respected your work, your strength, your discipline. But you should know, real martial artists don't need to prove who they are with words. Respect is earned in silence and then tested in the ring. He bows slightly, ending with one final line. If you ever want to find out the difference between acting tough and being tough, you know where to find me. The clip is barely 45 seconds long, but it breaks the internet. Millions watch within hours. The Rock's fans flood the comments with laughing emojis, while martial arts purists flood it with fire emojis and one word: respect. Seagal's delivery isn't angry. It's composed, mature, and terrifyingly calm. By evening, sports networks are talking about it. ESPN calls it the showdown no one saw coming. Podcasts debate it. MMA fighters weigh in. Seagal's old but dangerous, one fighter says. Yeah, but The Rock's a monster. He'd crush him, another replies. The pressure mounts. Fans demand a face-off, a friendly exhibition, maybe for charity. At first, The Rock laughs it off. Come on, guys. I'm an entertainer, not a fighter, he says on Instagram Live. I respect Seagal, but let's be real, he's in his 70s. It's all fun and jokes. But promoters smell opportunity. Within days, a proposal lands on The Rock's desk. The Rock versus Steven Seagal, charity exhibition for veterans relief. The event promises millions for a good cause, and the biggest live-streamed spectacle of the decade. The Rock hesitates. His PR team warns him, "If you turn it down, people will say you're scared." He smirks. Scared? Of who? Steven Seagal? Please. He signs the contract. Cut to Steven Seagal's home dojo. Reporters camp outside as news breaks. Seagal steps out briefly, surrounded by cameras. "Mr. Seagal, is it true? You're fighting The Rock?" He gives a small nod. "It's not about fighting," he says. "It's about reminding people that respect doesn't age." Inside, his students prepare quietly. Seagal trains differently. No weights, no hype videos. Just repetition, balance, stillness. His movements look slow, until you realize they're impossibly precise. Meanwhile, The Rock begins his trademark grind. Clips flood Instagram, him benching massive weights, punching pads, sprinting hills. Fans go wild. His caption reads, "Respect the old guard but never back down." Let's make history. The world is hooked. Sports channels announce the date. The arena sells out in hours. Two worlds are colliding. Hollywood muscle versus martial arts mastery. 1 week before the event, The Rock appears on Jimmy Fallon. "Dwayne, are you ready for Seagal?" Jimmy jokes. The Rock laughs. "Of course I am. I mean, look, and I grew up watching his movies. But this is the real world now. I just hope he can keep up." The audience roars. But somewhere in the shadows of that laughter, Seagal's quiet smile says everything. He's not coming for revenge. He's coming to teach a lesson. The night before the fight, The Rock can't sleep. He watches Seagal's training clips online, his movements fluid, his balance unshakable. For the first time, The Rock feels a flicker of doubt. He whispers to himself, "It's just a show, just for charity." But deep down he knows, Seagal isn't coming to play. The internet goes into meltdown. Posters read, "Strength versus skill. Hollywood versus martial arts, The Rock versus Seagal. Live in Las Vegas." Billboards light up Times Square. Streams are scheduled. Millions prepare to watch. Every comment section is the same. This is gonna be epic. No way Seagal wins and The Rock's unstoppable. Don't underestimate the old masters. Who do you think wins? The Rock's brute strength or Seagal's martial arts skill? Drop your prediction below and tell me what country or city you're watching from. The countdown begins. The Rock trains harder. Seagal meditates longer. Two legends, two philosophies, and in just 24 hours, the world will find out which one truly deserves the title of the real fighter. Both legends enter fight week, and the tension between strength and skill reaches its breaking point. The world is officially on notice. The date is set. The posters are everywhere. The Rock versus Steven Seagal and strength versus skill. Every talk show, every podcast, every sports analyst has one question. Can brute power beat decades of martial arts wisdom? Training clips dominate social media. The Rock uploads his first video, shirt drenched in sweat, lifting insane weight. He looks straight into the camera. "This isn't about hate, it's about respect. But I'm not backing down. Let's see who still has it when the bell rings." Millions of fans flood the comments, "Let's go Rock. How the people's champ never loses." But beneath those cheers, martial arts purists quietly post clips of Seagal deflecting punches and tossing opponents effortlessly to the mat. The caption reads, "Don't mistake silence for weakness." Meanwhile, in a quiet dojo outside Scottsdale, Arizona, Seagal trains differently. No loud music, no weights, just the sound of bare feet sliding on tatami mats. He practices Aikido wrist locks, redirections, throws, moving with calm, deliberate rhythm. When a young student rushes him with a wooden sword, Seagal sidesteps, barely touching him, and the student hits the mat before realizing what happened. "Remember," Seagal says, voice low and steady, "power means nothing if you can't control it." His assistant films the session, uploads a short clip with one line, "The calm before the storm." Within hours, the internet splits into two camps, Team Rock versus Team Seagal. YouTubers debate strategies. Memes flood Reddit. Rock's power will crush Seagal. No chance. One throw from Seagal and it's over. Cut to The Rock's gym, Los Angeles. Reporters crowd around as The Rock finishes a grueling workout. One asks, "Dwayne, Seagal says you rely on muscles, not skill. Any comment?" The Rock wipes his face, grins.
Skill's great.
But skill won't stop a 260-pound freight train when it hits you head-on. The quote spreads like wildfire. Freight train starts trending. Later that night, Seagal's calm reply hits social media. A freight train can't hit what it can't touch. That single line breaks the internet again. As the fight draws near, the promotion becomes bigger than anyone expected. ESPN runs a special documentary called Old School vs. New Breed. Clips show Seagal's black and white training footage from the 1980s. Then cut to The Rock's massive gym sessions in 4K color. Narrator: 2 eras. 2 philosophies, 1 ring. Commentators can't decide who has the edge. Joe Rogan says on his podcast, people underestimate Seagal. His Aikido is legit. But The Rock's size and power, if he connects once, it's over. Betting sites open wagers. The Rock is the heavy favorite. But odds for Seagal start creeping closer as fans rewatch his old training footage. 2 days before the fight, Las Vegas. The Rock lands in a private jet, greeted by fans screaming his name. He poses, smiles, signs shirts that say, Team Rock Strength Rules. Inside his hotel, he trains with his coach, running drills, practicing controlled jabs and dodges. His confidence is sky high. This'll be fun, he says, laughing. Just a friendly reminder who the alpha is. Across town, Seagal arrives quietly. No entourage, no fanfare. He walks through the hotel lobby in black shades and a long coat, calm as ever. Fans whisper, "Oh, that's him," as he passes without a word. He checks into his room, unpacks nothing but his GI and prayer beads. That evening, both men appear for the final press conference. The stage is electric. Cameras everywhere. The Rock sits on one side of the table, Seagal on the other. A reporter asks, "Dwayne, any last words for your opponent?" The Rock leans into the mic, smiling. "I respect him, but respect doesn't mean fear. When the bell rings, we'll see if old school technique can handle new school power." Gasps ripple through the audience. Seagal slowly picks up his microphone. Power fades. Control doesn't. Let's see who understands that better. No yelling. No insults. Just silence. The kind that makes every camera in the room zoom in tighter. The next day, fight hype hits its peak. News channels show split-screen footage. The Rock slamming weights versus Seagal meditating. The caption reads, "Speed versus stillness. Power versus precision." Instagram explodes with fan-made posters. The Rock, the people's power. Seagal, the master of flow. Both men trend for days. At midnight, The Rock posts one final message to his 400 million followers. "Tomorrow we make history. No stunts, no scripts. Just respect and results." 2 hours later, Seagal posts a single photo, his hands folded in meditation. The caption, "When the storm comes, I won't move. The storm will." That line alone racks up 20 million likes overnight. The world is ready. Tickets are gone. Streams are maxed out. Even celebrities tweet predictions. Elon Musk writes, "My money's on Seagal. Old school guys never break." Kevin Hart replies, "The Rock's about to turn him into dust." The night before the fight, both men prepare in silence. The Rock visualizes victory, power, speed, confidence. Seagal sits cross-legged, breathing slowly, eyes closed, already at peace. The clock ticks toward destiny. 2 philosophies, 2 worlds. And in just hours, only one will stand tall. All right, your turn. If you were The Rock right now, would you keep talking tough or stay quiet until fight night? Be honest. Drop your answer in the comments below. The lights go down. The bell rings. And what happens inside that ring will shock the entire world. Las Vegas, fight night. The T-Mobile Arena glows under 1,000 flashing lights. The crowd is electric. Celebrities, fighters, fans from every corner of the world. Signs flash in the audience, Team Rock forever. Respect the master. The commentators hype it up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a sanctioned fight. This is history in motion. The cameras pan across the roaring arena. And then the lights dim. The Rock's entrance hits first. Give you smell of what The Rock is cooking. The crowd erupts. He walks down the ramp, muscles gleaming under the lights, confidence radiating off him. He throws his arm up, grinning, shouting to the crowd. He's done this 100 times, in movies and wrestling rings, but tonight it feels real. Seconds later, the music cuts. The arena goes silent. A single taiko drum starts beating, and slow, deep, ancient. Steven Seagal appears. No flashing lights. No fireworks. Just calm, heavy presence. He walks toward the ring in his black G, eyes forward, unmoved by the noise. People murmur. The contrast is striking. Power versus peace, noise versus silence. They meet at the center of the ring. The referee gives final instructions. Keep it clean, gentlemen. No illegal strikes. Show respect. Both men nod. The bell rings. Ding! The Rock moves first, fast, aggressive, bouncing on his toes. He throws a light jab to test distance and then a quick right hook. Seagal barely shifts. The punch misses by inches. He doesn't flinch. Doesn't blink, just watches. The Rock grins. Okay, you can move. Let's see you handle this, he charges, throwing a heavy left. Seagal sidesteps, catches the Rock's wrist, and in one fluid motion, redirects his momentum. The Rock stumbles forward, barely catching himself on the ropes. The crowd gasps. The commentators shout, "Whoa! That was a real Aikido deflection. He used the Rock's own strength against him." The Rock straightens, now serious. "All right," he mutters. "No more playing." He squares up, feints a punch, then lunges for a body grab. This time, Seagal catches his elbow, twists, and with almost no effort, sends the Rock spinning to the mat. The arena erupts. Half the crowd cheers wildly. The other half falls into stunned silence. Seagal steps back, hands folded calmly. The Rock pops back up, breathing hard, face tightening. It's not pain, it's disbelief. He rushes again, faster, more explosive. A left feint, a real right hook, a low sweep. Seagal glides out of range, redirects every attack. His movement slow but perfectly timed. He never strikes and only deflects. The Rock swings again, big, heavy. And suddenly Seagal catches his arm, pivots his hips, and executes a textbook Kodagaishi wrist throw. Boom! The Rock hits the mat hard. The crowd stands. Cameras flash. Seagal steps back once more, bowing slightly. "Control," he says softly. "Not aggression." The Rock looks up, dazed but furious. He slams his hand on the mat and stands again. "Come on, old man." He shouts, the crowd roars. Now it's pride versus principle. He charges one last time, full speed. Seagal doesn't move until the last possible second. Then, a swift sidestep, a palm strike to the Rock's shoulder, and a flowing redirection. In one seamless motion, the Rock flies off balance and lands again, flat on his back. The bell rings. Ding, ding, ding. The referee steps in, not to declare a winner, but to stop things from going too far. The crowd is losing its mind. Commentator: "That's not power, that's mastery. Seagal's control is unbelievable." The Rock stays down for a moment, chest heaving, staring at the ceiling lights. He can't believe it. He wasn't beaten by strength. He was dismantled by technique. Seagal kneels beside him, extending a hand. "Respect," he says quietly. The Rock takes it. Slowly, humbly. He stands, nodding, sweat dripping down his face. He raises Seagal's hand for the crowd to see. The entire arena explodes with cheers. Chants echo from every direction. "Respect. Respect, respect." Even the Rock smiles, shaking his head. "You got me," he says into the mic. "That's the real deal right there." Seagal bows. There's no winner, only lessons. The crowd stands in applause and a standing ovation, not for a knockout, but for the message. Cameras zoom in on Seagal's calm expression, the Rock beside him, humbled but proud. In that moment, it's not about fame or ego, and it's about discipline, honor, and mutual respect. The commentators close it perfectly. Power fades. Respect lasts forever. If you were in that ring, would you rather have raw strength like The Rock or calm control like Seagal? Comment below. I'm curious which side you'd be on. The fight goes viral worldwide. Reactions, memes, interviews, and The Rock's public apology that wins hearts across the globe. The arena is still shaking with applause, chants of "Respect, respect," reverberating off the walls. Cameras flash, phones record every frame, and social media explodes in real time. The Rock stands in the center of the ring, chest heaving, sweat dripping down his brow. His pride, carefully built over decades, takes a hit, but his face doesn't betray anger. He looks over at Steven Seagal, who stands calm as ever, arms folded, observing quietly. Seagal doesn't celebrate. He doesn't taunt. He simply breathes relaxed, serene, the image of absolute control. The Rock swallows his pride, takes a deep breath, and addresses the crowd. "I called him a movie cowboy," he begins, voice steady but tinged with humility. "I thought this would be fun, a little friendly sparring. But I just learned a lesson that no amount of power or speed can teach. Mastery isn't about muscles. It's about control, patience, and respect. The audience falls silent, hanging on his words. Every camera lens zooms in, capturing the moment. He continues. Steven Seagal didn't have to prove anything tonight. He just showed me what it means to be disciplined, calm, and truly skilled. And for that, I owe him my respect. Publicly. Seagal finally speaks into the microphone, voice soft but commanding. Strength will only get you so far. Discipline and control will carry you farther than brute force ever could. That's what you just witnessed. The crowd erupts in applause, cheering for the lesson rather than the fight. It's a victory, not of one man over another, but of humility over pride. Across the world, the clip goes viral within hours. News outlets replay the moment of The Rock standing beside Seagal, humbling himself. Headlines read, "The Rock learns respect the hard way." Seagal outclasses Hollywood muscle with calm mastery. Strength versus discipline. Who really wins? The memes come next. One shows The Rock wiping sweat with the caption, "Me realizing the old masters were right all along." Another shows Seagal standing still while The Rock spins through the air. Captioned, "Control ego." Social media splits between awe and disbelief. Fans of The Rock admit they misjudged him. Martial arts enthusiasts nod knowingly. Even celebrities comment. Dwayne Wade tweets, "The Rock just got schooled by Seagal. Respect." Kevin Hart replies, "That's my boy learning the hard way." Back in the arena, The Rock and Seagal take a slow lap around the ring, waving to the crowd. Cameras catch the moment of mutual acknowledgement. No words necessary. The Rock stops, leans toward Seagal, and whispers, "You're the real deal." "I respect you, man." Seagal nods, smiling faintly. "Now you know what real skill looks like." The lesson resonates beyond the arena. The Rock's humility inspires millions of fans worldwide. For the first time in decades, The Rock's persona isn't just about raw power or charisma. It's about learning, growing, and respecting mastery. Interviews after the fight become legendary. On every network, The Rock admits publicly, "I misjudged him. I let my ego talk before I understood the craft. Tonight I got reminded that humility is stronger than any punch." Seagal, ever calm, tells reporters, "It's not about defeating someone. It's about showing the difference between reaction and control." That's the message I hope people take home. Fans respond instantly. Twitter floods with, "Humility, pride, lesson learned." The Rock's growth is what makes him a legend. Seagal forever the master. Even brands jump on the moment. Videos of The Rock promoting fitness and meditation trend, showing the world that strength alone isn't enough. Balance matters. The Rock's social media posts his own clip, adding, "Strength is nothing without respect." Learned that today, thanks to Seagal. Within 24 hours, the clip surpasses 50 million views. News shows, podcasts, and influencers replay the fight, emphasizing the humility moment. It becomes less about a fight and more about a life lesson. About ego, respect, and the real meaning of strength. If you were The Rock, would you admit you were wrong like he did? Type yes if you respect humility, or no if pride would have kept you silent. The arena empties slowly, but the moment lingers. The Rock and Seagal exit together, walking side by side, a striking image for cameras and history alike. Strength versus skill, ego versus humility, and in the end, respect triumphs. The fight clips go viral worldwide. Headlines, memes, and interviews amplify the lesson, making this one of the most talked about showdowns in history. The fight ended hours ago, but the world is only just catching up. From Las Vegas to Tokyo, from London to Manila, screens light up with the iconic moment. The Rock lying on the mat, stunned. Seagal standing calmly beside him. The referee raising Seagal's hand not as a victory, but as a symbol of discipline and respect. On social media, the clip spreads like wildfire. Millions of views pour in within the first hour. Fans upload reaction videos. Friends cheering in living rooms, families crowded around smartphones. Gyms playing the fight on big screens while people lift weights and watch in awe. Even celebrities can't resist sharing their thoughts. Jackie Chan tweets, "Old school skill, Hollywood muscle, respect." Tom Hardy posts a short clip with the caption, "The lesson here is humility." Shaquille O'Neal writes, "Strength is nothing if you can't control it." Seagal taught The Rock tonight. News outlets run 24-hour coverage. Headlines flash everywhere. The Rock schooled by Seagal. Fans are shocked. Strength versus control, the lesson we all needed. Hollywood muscle meets martial arts mastery, back in Las Vegas. The arena has emptied, but reporters swarm the fighters in the locker room. The Rock, still sweating, sits on a bench, shoulders slumped slightly, a grin on his face and pride humbled but dignity intact. "I thought this was going to be fun," he tells a reporter. "I thought my strength would dominate. But I was wrong. This wasn't about power. It was about control, technique, and respect." Steven Seagal didn't have to prove anything. He just reminded me, and the world, what real mastery looks like. Seagal, calm and composed, stands nearby. "It's not about proving who's better. It's about showing the difference between reaction and mastery," he says softly. "Respect is earned, not claimed. That's the message." The Rock nods, leaning forward, hands on his knees. "I learned it today, and I hope the world does too." The clips continue to go viral. On TikTok, reaction videos explode. People mimicking the deflection moves. Gym trainers recreating Seagal's calm yet precise movements. Memes comparing Hollywood muscle versus martial arts mastery. Instagram explodes with posts of fans captioning The Rock's expression on the mat. When you realize old school was always the real school. Even the People's Champ has lessons to learn. YouTube channels create reaction compilations with titles like, "The Rock gets schooled by a martial arts legend. This fight will change how you see strength." The viral momentum is not limited to fans. Brands and charities take note. The exhibition fight was for a charity cause, and donations soar beyond expectations. Millions pour into veterans' relief funds, fueled by the combined star power of The Rock and Seagal. Meanwhile, late-night talk shows replay the footage with commentary. The Rock just got reminded what respect looks like. Seagal's calm, controlled technique humbles even the biggest Hollywood star. It's rare to see humility and mastery collide so perfectly on one stage. Fans in the arena post live reactions from multiple countries. New York, USA. "Can't believe I just saw The Rock get outclassed by Seagal." Well, legendary. Tokyo, Japan. "Seagal is a true martial artist. The Rock showed class admitting defeat." London, UK. "Respect over power. Lesson learned." Manila, Philippines. The Rock bowed to Seagal's skill. Iconic moment. The comment section explodes with admiration for humility. Power is nothing without respect. This is why Seagal is a legend. The Rock handled this like a true professional. He admitted his mistake. In interviews after the fight, both men highlight the lesson. The Rock, now a viral sensation for more than just action films, says, "We all think strength is enough, but it's not. Control, respect, and patience, and that's what lasts. I'm proud to share the ring with someone who reminded me of that." Seagal nods, serene as ever. Mastery isn't about defeating someone publicly. It's about teaching them in a way that stays with them forever. That's what today was about. The world responds in kind. Memes, reaction videos, and news segments continue for days, cementing the fight as not just a spectacle but a lesson in humility, discipline, and respect. If you could go back in time and give The Rock one tip before the fight, what would it be? Comment below and tell me your country or city while you're at it. By the next morning, The Rock's social media explodes with posts. Photos of him shaking Seagal's hand. Captioned, "Strength is nothing without respect." Clips of fans practicing martial arts moves from Seagal's training videos. Hundreds of thousands of comments sharing admiration for both men. Seagal remains quiet, letting the footage and the lesson speak for itself. The Rock, humbled, becomes an icon not just of power and charisma, but of learning and respecting mastery. And around the world, millions of fans now understand, ego may impress, but humility leaves a legacy. The story spreads across social media, news outlets, and schools of martial arts. Fans, influencers, and celebrities continue sharing the lesson, cementing the fight as a timeless viral moment. The morning after the fight, the world wakes up to headlines flashing across every platform. The Rock learns a lesson in respect from Seagal. Hollywood muscle versus martial arts mastery, respect wins. Viral moment, Seagal humbling The Rock. Every social media feed is flooded with clips of the fight. Millions of viewers rewatch the moment The Rock hits the mat, followed by Seagal's calm, disciplined control. Fans post reaction videos, memes, and commentary from every corner of the globe, from New York to Tokyo, London to Manila. Even celebrities can't resist joining in. Jackie Chan posts, "Seagal's technique speaks louder than words. Respect earned." Kevin Hart jokes, "The Rock got schooled, and he handled it like a legend." Elon Musk tweets, "Control beats strength. Lesson of the year." The fight becomes a global conversation. Fitness trainers, martial arts schools, and action movie fans analyze every move. Gym goers replicate the deflections. Meditation enthusiasts study Seagal's calm posture. And movie fans compare the showdown to classic films. The Rock himself posts a heartfelt message across his social media accounts. "Strength is nothing without respect. Today I learned that firsthand. Thank you, Seagal, for the lesson. And thank you to everyone who watched and shared. This is bigger than a fight. It's about humility and growth." Seagal posts a simple photo, his hands folded in meditation, captioned, "Discipline and respect last longer than any victory." News outlets continue to cover the story for days. Analysts dissect the fight as more than an exhibition. It's a lesson in life, not just in the ring. The charity that hosted the match sees record-breaking donations. Millions pouring in from fans inspired by the event. Comment sections are filled with admiration. The Rock showed humility. That's real strength. Seagal didn't need to prove anything. True mastery. This fight will be remembered forever. Even in pop culture, the fight leaves its mark. Memes, video edits, TikTok recreations, and Instagram reels continue to go viral for weeks. Strength versus control becomes a trending phrase worldwide. Motivational speakers and coaches use the fight as an example of ego versus discipline. Meanwhile, The Rock and Seagal occasionally post joint messages, emphasizing respect over rivalry. We all have something to learn. Strength alone doesn't make a legend. Respect does. The two icons become more than fighters. They become a global symbol of humility, mastery, and integrity. For the millions of fans who watched live or online, the fight isn't remembered as who won or lost, but as a lesson that transcends fighting, movies, or celebrity. It's a lesson in ego, control, and the value of respecting others, no matter how big, strong, or famous you are. If you believe real strength comes from respect and humility, type honor in the comments. Share this story with friends and subscribe for more legendary true stories like this one. The clip of The Rock nodding to Seagal, the calm acknowledgement, and the roaring applause is replayed across the internet, a timeless viral moment. And in every corner of the world, viewers carry the same lesson home. Power impresses. Respect inspires. The story ends not with a knockout, but with a legacy, a lesson in humility, discipline, and the quiet, unstoppable power of respect.